This is Oreo, the most famous person in our family. At least now he is, now that he's making his debut podcast appearance. So everyone say hi to Oreo.
He looks great. And how old is Oreo?
He's 13.
Yes,
13.
This is my wife, Emily, and she's going to be the Oreo expert today because I came in the picture after Oreo. So I know my place in the house. I know that I come in third, you know.
Well, it's interesting because I want to get to that because I think there's probably a little bit of humor involved with that. But first, if we go back 13 years, Emily, what's going on in your life and how does Oreo enter it?
So actually, I got Oreo 8 years ago. He's a rescue, so I got him when he was 5.
Okay.
I was looking for a dog. I worked at a startup and we could bring dogs to work, and I was living alone and I wanted a little companion. So I knew I wanted a rescue. I went to a bunch of rescues and then I found this place, Safe Place for Animals. They're in Gallatin, Tennessee, kind of a little bit outside of Nashville.
Shout out.
Love them. And I started working with them and they were so lovely. I would tell them, what my lifestyle was like, and I would ask about a dog and they'd say, hey, we just don't think that's the right dog for you based on your lifestyle. So they were great. And I loved that about them and I appreciated their honesty. And I had an adoption somewhere else fall through, and I'd seen Oreo at Safe Place for Animals. He had just gotten there and I asked about him and they said, oh, well, he just got here today and we need to talk to his owners and see if they want him back or figure out what happened. And I was like, okay, cool. So then 30 days later, I didn't hear anything about him, and I looked on their website and he was available for adoption. And I was like, that's my guy. That's him.
It's so funny how they end up being your dog. It really seems meant to be so many times.
Yeah.
99 out of 100 times, people are like, the stars just aligned for that particular dog to make its way to you.
Oh my God, it did. And what had happened to him was that he had been left outside in the freezing. So I adopted him in March. So he'd been there since all of February. And a neighbor had seen him. He was chained up outside and they thought that he was going to freeze to death. So I think the neighbor basically just took him and
Good.
gave him to the rescue. And then the rescue talked to the owners and they said, oh, you can keep him.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah. I see that a lot with the volunteering I do.
Yeah. Oh my God. So awful. But now he's just the most spoiled little boy in the whole world. And he sleeps like king-size bed every night.
Deservedly so. He went through it to deserve it.
Yeah, for sure.
So, RJ, how long have you known the dog now?
I've known Oreo as long as I've known Emily, so 5 years, right? Mm-hmm. As of this year.
Well, I'm burning to ask this question to Emily, knowing how much you adore this dog. I'm assuming that if the dog doesn't like the boyfriend doesn't last.
Correct.
Okay, so what was the first meeting with RJ like with Oreo?
Oh, I remember this.
RJ, you can answer it. Either one can answer.
I remember.
After our first date on our day off in Nashville, we played.
It was a Friday.
So right, was it?
Yeah.
Okay, Friday day off in Nashville. Saturday show day in Knoxville. Sunday show day back in Nashville. We went back and forth, and so I was trying to convince you to come to Knoxville with me. I just met you. Came back to Nashville the morning, woke up early, hit the gym, and then I texted you. I was like, oh, by the way, do you want to go on? I'm back in town. You want to grab a coffee or something?
Mm-hmm.
She's like, sure. So she takes me to this place called Dose, local coffee shop. And then we're just hanging out, chatting, having a good time, talking about our first date.
And it's storming.
And it's raining. It's storming, thunderstorming outside, big surprise, Nashville. And you got a call from your mom.
My mom had been staying with me that weekend, and my mom calls me and she's like, Emily, I was trying to leave the house and Oreo darted out because he got so scared of the thunder to follow me, and he hid under my car and I can't get him and I can't leave. You need to come home now. So I was like, RJ, do you want to come with me to go try to get my dog and also meet my mom? It's date number 2.
Yeah, on the second date.
And so he showed up and Oreo, oh yeah. Then
he was under the car. Yeah.
Oh my God. And it sounds so crazy, but RJ came over and we talked and I was like, hey, I know this is so bizarre, but Oreo feels really safe in my room and he'll stop shaking. Do you want to hang out in my room? I was like, I swear I'm not coming on to you. I just know that my Oreo will just feel so much safer if he's in an enclosed space where he knows it's his. And so then we ended up just like sitting in my room and chatting for like hours.
I guess there was something about me that you trusted to bring
I
some
did.
strange guy in your bedroom on the second date, you know.
Yeah.
Well,
But like
mom
I
was,
said, we
mom
could
was
talk.
there, right?
My mom, it was leaving. She
She
was
was
going
leaving,
back.
Oh,
She was
okay,
living
she was
in,
on her way out. Okay.
yeah, she was living in the Knoxville area. And that's why she was like calling me. She was like, I can't leave because Oreo's under my car. And so that was the whole issue. And so then she ended up leaving and met RJ on date 2 for like
Yeah.
5
Oh,
seconds.
hi.
But oh
Random
hi.
girl's mom.
Yeah.
So back to the bedroom, and Oreo has this a little bit of a traumatic, day. Was he open to meeting RJ at the time, or was he just all about you?
I feel like he just sat in my lap most of the time. But Oreo's like pretty chill anyway. You got to be a real jerk for him to not like you, I feel like.
I,
But
I feel like he's more aggressive towards men. So like if a guy, if like a friend of ours who's a guy comes to the house and he doesn't know them, he'll start barking. But I think he was pretty distracted by the storm, so he wasn't really barking at
I
me.
think
But
he was. He warmed up to you pretty quick, I
really
feel
fast,
like.
yeah. Like we became like instant besties. So that was a good sign. I was like, okay, I passed the smell test.
Now, RJ, are you a dog guy? Were you a dog guy? Did you grow up with dogs? What's your history with dogs?
Oh, 100%. We always had dogs when I was little. My first dog was a boxer, huge boxer. I don't know how, 100-pound boxer or something massive. And he was just like a member of the family. When he passed away, that was, oh, I remember that day. That really felt like I was losing a family member. Best dog ever when I was a kid. We had other dogs, had a fox terrier, had another fox terrier. But then when the band started, it was really hard for us to keep a pet at home, especially because when we started touring, my parents were involved and were touring with us. So pretty quickly, we weren't able to have a pet anymore. So there was a long period, I'd say, from the age of like, oh gosh, I don't know, 13, 14 until I met Emily. So that's, I don't know, 20 years or something, maybe. Is my math? I don't know. And
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
20, where I didn't ever have a pet, and I would have so much dog envy by people that had dogs. Anywhere I lived, if I had a friend with a pet, I'd be like, "Can I come over? Can I watch them? You need a dog sitter? I'm here," and it was always tough for me to have somebody. So when I met Emily and she came with Oreo, I was like, "This is kind of cool." I've never had a dog in my adult years. So this is my
I
first.
do have to say, I feel like this is a common theme. So many people tell me, and you've said this too, they're like, I didn't think I was a little dog person, but I really like Oreo. I have so many people tell me that, and it's like, oh, it makes me feel good every time.
I'm a every dog person. I don't care what size or anything.
Yeah.
It
You
is.
grew up with bigger dogs, didn't you?
I grew both. I grew up with
Yeah, okay.
a large boxer and then a little fox terrier. So I've had a couple different pets, but not many growing up. I didn't have a lot, again, just because the touring and throughout the years of touring and, never really had a serious relationship with someone who was able to care for a dog. And, so yeah, I kind of got blessed with these two.
Yeah. Now, looking through social media, I saw a picture very recently. I think it was back in the spring, with Oreo with a big scar. I think on his back, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on with that?
So it's all good news. He's cancer free. So I'll just start by
Okay.
saying that. Because every
Good,
time I
good.
start the story, people are like, "Oh my
Oh no!
God," and
Oh
I'm like,
no!
"No,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
okay." I think it was like around May. He just gets these little bumps. He's an older dog, and so he just gets little lumps and bumps. And when he goes in for his annual teeth cleaning, where they put him under, they just go ahead and take him off. And he was at his cleaning, and the doctor called us, and he was just like, "Hey, there's this one spot. It just looks a little concerning." He's like, "Do you want me to send it off?" And I'm like, "Do you think it needs to be sent off?" And he was like, "I would." And I said,
Yeah.
"Cool, send it off." So then I got a call a couple days later, and he was like, "Emily, I'm so sorry. It's malignant melanoma," which is actually very unlikely on a spot like that. It's normally like in their mouths or things like that. And he was like, what we can do is recommend a revision surgery to hopefully get all of it so it doesn't spread. They did scans. There wasn't anything in like his lymph nodes or his organs, so they were pretty confident that it was pretty slow moving. they recommended us to a few places here, and no one could get us in closer than a month. And we were not having that. So we called people in Memphis, Chattanooga, and then we called UT Knoxville, which is actually my alma mater. I went there. I graduated their business school, and they could get us in like a week and a half. And we were like, cool, we're
Road
driving
trip.
to Knoxville. Let's go.
Yeah.
So we drove to Knoxville, and it was a 2 centimeter margin around the entire thing, which is very big when you're only 12 pounds.
Yeah.
And they did that, and then they called us back later, and they said all of the margins were clear, and he was healthy.
Yeah, we have a very whatever it takes attitude with his health. Like he is our son, and and I would do anything. I'd go to the ends of the earth to make sure he was okay. So
yeah. There's various posts where you both say these two are the loves of my life. So it seems very mutual that Oreo is got high priority.
Mm-hmm. They're a package deal.
Now, RJ, you've got a funny post that said, "Damn it, I've become one of those obnoxious dog dads."
Yeah, I really have. The kind of
what constitutes that? Is it was that just inclusive to Instagram, where you're posting about the dog and not rock and roll, or is this broaden out to your everyday life?
Just because I'm so in love with this little fur baby, and I think that there's kind of a joke around the internet that makes fun of people who treat their animals like kids, like little baby humans, which he absolutely is. Don't listen, Oreo. He thinks he's a human. But yes, I understand that mentality now. It's no,
RJ,
he really is like my child, you know?
RJ will be somewhere, and he's like, oh, can you show them Oreo? I was talking about him. And like, I'm the one that takes all the pictures. So RJ only has like a couple of photos on his phone. But he'll be like, I was talking about Oreo all day. Can you show them pictures? Like, tell them about this. And I'm like, okay.
So I was like, I need to post more about Oreo just because I love him so much. But at the same time, like, I know I'm going to get comments of like, oh my God, you're one of those obnoxious typical millennial dog dad. And we don't have like kids. So besides Oreo. So yeah, I feel like a lot of parents are like, oh no. Like having a dog and having a kid is so different. You don't know what you're talking about. But at the same time, I'm like, I love him like he is my own kid. So like, I understand that type of dog dad mentality, I guess.
I mean, he seems, I dare I say spoiled, but to lead into my next question, he must be spoiled. What's his most indulgent, how do you guys indulge on him the most?
Oh man.
Well, he loves to sleep, that's for sure. This little boy can outsleep anybody. He loves napping. He's so laid back. He's just so chill. And
I will say he has an extensive clothes collection. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie.
And toy collection.
He doesn't really use the toys. We just like to buy them for him because why not?
It's the thought that counts.
But you know what it is? It's his food. He has become so picky. If we start giving him the same food over and over again, and it's been like a couple months, one day he'll just wake up and he will go on a hunger strike.
Mm-hmm.
He'll just stop eating until at the end of the day when he's absolutely starving. Then he'll eat all of it, but he will let you know he's like, I'm so tired of this food.
Yeah, we'll have to get some canned stuff and mix it in because we try to give him really healthy food because we're trying to keep him healthy.
Yep.
And he only has 8 teeth. When he was at the rescue, they had to pull a bunch of them. Mm-hmm. And so he doesn't have a lot of teeth. So we have to give him soft food. And it's like very specific and it's just a whole process. But no, we have to turn on the kettle. It's this freeze-dried stuff. We heat it up. It's a whole process. So it's soft,
yeah, so we can chew it.
And now it's warm, so it's good.
When the Amazon man comes around, he forgets he only has 8 teeth. He's like, let me out. I'll rip them to ribbons.
Yeah, that's my dog.
Like, what are you going to do, huh?
That's my dog. Well, it's funny. I stumbled upon another thing. It's a very common hashtag, and I got to think about it because I think it's a lot more profound than we all use it as. And it's the hashtag "We don't deserve dogs."
So true.
It's so true.
And explain, what does that mean to you? Like, why not?
They're so much better than humans, I guess.
Well, you know that they just can't do anything with malice in their hearts.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Everything that Oreo does, whether, barking at the Amazon man or barking at people outside, or, if he pulls on the leash to get at another dog, he is a little reactive, but it's like everything he does comes from a place of love,
Mhm.
whether it's just the wrong way to behave, it's like he just does it because he loves us.
Well,
He wants to
he
protect
does it to
us.
protect you.
Okay, to be fair.
For me, if I was getting eaten by a bear, he would just be like,
No.
"No, I'm kidding."
That's not true. But it's just everything he does, he really can't do anything.
Yeah,
He's like just not capable of hurting me on purpose.
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or,
know,
or
it's just-
doing anything malicious. Yeah, they're
Yeah,
just,
what
they're
do you
just
call
so
him?
they're so innocent and pure.
You call him?
Oh, because he's pure love wrapped in fur.
Arejay says that all the time.
Aw, see,
Aw.
obnoxious dog dad.
There's many times I think that my guests will lose fans by the way they gush over their pets.
Yeah,
I
I'll
do-
probably lose a few.
I think they're pretty aware of it already.
Worth it.
They are. Do your fans address the dog? Do they ask you about the Oreo on occasion?
Yes, they talk about him all the time in meet and greets because I post about him, and a lot of our fans are also fans of Emily as an actor and as in the arts herself. And so a lot of our fans are following Emily too, and Emily posts and Oreo. Oreo's got his own Instagram page too, so a lot of them are following him
He
as
has
well.
like 1,000 followers.
Yeah.
I know,
Oreo in the
I
city.
know. A lot, yeah. We got a lot of Halestorm fans are also major Oreo fans. So
People have brought
say hi to
treats.
say hi to your fans out there, Oreo. They're out there. They're
People
watching
have
you.
brought treats to meet and greets.
Yeah.
for Oreo.
That's great.
Or
I
presents
love
or
that.
toys.
Or
Yeah.
presents or toys and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, it's so
sweet.
funny.
Mhm.
That's great. Well, speaking of Oreo's Instagram, Oreo in the City, in November 2020, he posted, and this is a picture of RJ. You're my second favorite person in the entire world. And my question is, can you live with that?
You know what? Totally fine. I understand. Look, I know my place in the house. I know that I come in third. I always say like, "Hey, Dad, thanks for paying the mortgage and for feeding me and taking me outside and taking care of me." But like, if Emily leaves the house, he'll just sit at the door. He does not care. He's like, "Yeah, sorry, I love you, but you're not mom." So,
No, it's just
Yeah,
it's an
yeah.
ongoing joke, but that's so funny for
yeah.
someone to reference it. Like,
Like, "Hey, Dad, thanks for watching me and taking care of me and feeding me and taking me outside. But I'm gonna stay here and wait for Mom because you're not Mom." So, yeah. So I understand my place, but you know what? I came in the picture after, so
Yeah.
you know, I really had to. It took a minute for Oreo to be like, "You know what? Okay, I'll adopt you as my dad." You know. We always make the joke where he's like, "Shut up! You're not my real dad."
like if Arjun does anything he doesn't like,
You're not my real dad.
That's funny. That's very funny.
Yeah.
Well, I wind up every show with what I call the Zoomies, and those are 5 fast, frivolous questions. The
Okay.
first question, and you could both individually answer. Do you kiss Oreo on the mouth?
No,
No.
I thought I'd get a yes and a no.
no.
Yeah, no.
Okay. And this translated, you let him lick your face.
He doesn't lick.
Okay.
He doesn't really give kisses.
Yeah, our friend's dog Finn, he'll lick you all over the place, but Oreo doesn't really do that. Yeah.
No, Oreo just
Okay.
wants to be held.
Yeah, he just wants to be loved.
Fair enough, Oreo. Question 2, does Oreo have a theme song? If you were to walk into the room, what should be playing?
Are you gonna do that?
Oreo. Oh yes, is it
We have a
Oreo
we
is
have a
my
couple-
best friend? Or what is it?
We have a couple. So we have one from SpongeBob. Oreo
Oh,
is my best friend in the world. Oreo is my best friend in the sea. Oreo loves mommy more than daddy. And then we have the other one. We go.
Which is true.
The autos or O'Reilly.
Oh,
does
yeah.
the,
Oh,
Oreo, smelly farts.
And there goes the remainder of my followers.
There's so many more, and I won't make you suffer through them.
Okay, question number 3 is, I know Oreo doesn't tour with Halestorm, but if he were, what would he insist be on the tour rider?
Oh, what do you think? Probably treats.
Cheese,
Cheese?
cheese,
Cheese and French fries.
French fries.
French
loves
fries,
some
he loves
fries.
Oh, really? That's
We're-
funny. That's
We are
a
suckers. We
unique.
do feed him from the table, which is
No, he wants steak.
steak. Oh, he would want steak. Anytime I'm cooking steak in the kitchen, he's like right there. Come on, Dad. Or bacon. Yeah,
Oh,
which
yeah,
is
for
well,
sure.
you're a vegetarian, but Oreo is not, and neither just like his daddy.
Yeah. Okay. Question 4. I know the answer. I don't know the specifics, but do you use a dog voice? And this could be in two ways. You
Do
can
we?
speak in a high-pitched voice to him, and the second way is, do you channel a voice as if this
Yes.
would what he would sound like?
Yeah, I feel like with the Oreo voice, I have one word that sums it all up.
Daddy,
Daddy,
daddy, daddy.
Daddy, I love you.
It's like, Bobby, where are you going, Bobby?
This
You're
is
putting, Bobby, you're putting your outdoor feet on. I know you're gonna leave me.
Bobby, this is such a fun interview. I'm gonna be famous.
All right, and the last question is there a dog service or organization you'd want to give a shout out to?
Oh yeah.
Safe Place for Animals in Gallatin. They're amazing. It's where I got Oreo, and they were just so lovely to work with. They understood their dogs and they have cats too. They are just a rescue, but they understood their pets like I feel like a lot of other places don't. And
Yeah.
I highly recommend going to check them out if you have the opportunity.
Yeah.
Fantastic,
And
fantastic.
they're really cool. They care about matching you with a dog that will fit your lifestyle and fit your personality and like what you're looking for. They have a good knowledge of the personalities of all the dogs and all the pets. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And adopt, don't shop.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, RJ, Emily, thank you so much for sharing Oreo with me. I've been very entertained, and just now, just laughing, I was like, this is a joy for me. So thank you. And
Aw,
Thank
likewise.
thanks for being good dog parents. All right. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank
That is-
you.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Yeah, great to
Right.
meet you. Thanks
You
for doing
too.
it.
Likewise.